Hey all, Steve Yu here. I just wanted to take you through a tutorial on creating a Node application. So Node.js is server-side JavaScript, and in typical client-server applications, you usually have an application that first reaches the server and then serves up pages, and there's constant communication between the client, which is the browser, and then the server, which is where the computer where your application would be running. So, first things first, I wanted to take you through, and first thing you'd have to do is download Node.js. So if you bring up the browser, Node.js, and click the handy download, and you can see I'm on a Mac, so the Mac OS installer, you can go ahead and download that. I already have Node installed. The way to check that is to bring up your terminal. You can actually put in Node-V, or you could simply do Node and something would actually happen. Otherwise, it would say do not recognize Node. So you can exit out of that. Let's cancel out of that. Okay, so now what we want to do is create a really basic Node app. How do you do that? Well, let me make the screen a little bit bigger. I really always want to do the live coding, so this is my chance here. So you'll see some mistakes, but we're going to take you through here. So not everything is always flawless and rehearsed. So I want you to see, just some of the things that a developer would think through. It's not always perfect and polished like some of these videos portray. So I usually have a projects directory, so let's go to that directory. Right now we are in my home, in my profile. I like to keep a projects directory, so here it is right here. And what we need to do is make a folder for our Node application. Usually projects and the files all go into one folder, and you can do your development kind of encapsulated in there. So if we make a directory, and let's just call it sample node app. Okay, we know that that exists, and we can go in there, sample node application. You can see that there's nothing in here if we list out the contents. So what we want to do is when you install Node, the Node.js that we downloaded, it comes with npm, Node Package Manager, and what that's going to do is allow you to go out to using the your network connection, be able to get different packages and node packages and basically different like pieces of code that you would need, frameworks maybe, in order to do some of your work. So there's Node, and then there's people who write JavaScript and build frameworks that just kind of make your life a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and use npm. This is basic to start. You're always going to have a package.json file. So in order to get a bare bones Node application going, you could do npm init. When we do that, you'll see all these default things. It's basically building your package.json file. So if I just click enter a whole bunch of times, you'll say, okay, these are all the default things, but what's in there? And then so if we look at the package.json, you can see that this is all the default stuff this is our title right here, version, description. You can always fill in this stuff afterwards. So you can see default script of test. We can always put different things, like you'll do npm start, different commands that you can put in here, scripts that Node will know how to run. So this is default, but so all we want to do is get that going, and then that's how a Node app will get started. So now what we would want to do, since we have this package.json, is you can build a Node.js server file. So you could start at the start. You would have to invoke some file to start. So you can make an index.js right here, And what that's going to do is eventually, like if I had Vim index.js, let's say we did something like let's do let's just print something out to the console log, and then hello from Node. What you could do is you could actually just get that file and then tell Node to run that file. You could do node index.js, and then when you do that, hello from Node comes up. Now, a popular framework that a lot of people use, mean stack developers, or MERN stack if you're React. So mean is the Mongo, Express, Angular, and using Node. So that type of technology stack. Or you could be a MERN developer, MERN, which is the same thing except the R stands for React. Two popular frameworks that let you do front-end development. Um, just a different thing. You see Angular versus React. A lot of community behind each. So anyway, the E stands for Express, and that pretty much makes your life a lot easier when it comes to building a server-side application, JavaScript, a Node.js server-side application. So actually, we're going to go ahead and get Express. So let me go ahead and npm install, and then we can do what we would want to do is end up building our package.json file and saving these dependencies that we need. Therefore, whenever somebody pulls down your code, you can do an npm install, and it will read the package.json file and then install all those dependencies. In order to, you would want a fellow developer to get the code, run something to get everything you need, and then go ahead and start your app flawlessly. You shouldn't have to deal with any problems or setup or anything like that. So if we do this, but if we have a little caveat of save dev, and then we want Express, so this is the Express framework on top of Node. This will make it easier to make server-side applications, so let's go ahead and get that. It's going to take just a second. Okay, so we have that, and we can check that by looking at our, let's look at our package.json. Let's see. So we want vim package.json. Okay, so you can see right here that, Express. So you can see Express was populated here. Last time there was nothing here, so Express is here. Same thing when a developer pulls down your code, they can run npm install, and it will take this, it will know that this Express is here, download it when they do npm install, and then they'll be able to run the app. Okay, so let's go back out here. So now we want to build that Express app, and what you can do, and this is, developers look things up all the time, and nobody has this stuff memorized down to the nitty-gritty unless you do it a lot. You still might have to take, but why not use the resources when there's not a whole lot of pressure? This is a little live coding, but why not use the resources? So let's go ahead and let's go to Express.js. This is the web application framework that we were talking about. So you'll see some documentation, and basically all of these types of Node, these JavaScript frameworks will have like a getting started type of area to kind of get you quick started. People learn by doing, so you can go ahead and just get started. And really, you can just grab this code right here, and through repetition, eventually you'll be able to just do this by, I don't want to say memory, but by muscle memory. So let's just go ahead and grab that, and let's go into Vim, our index file, and we can delete that. Let's go ahead and paste this in. Right, quit that. Okay, so now we have that file, and we can actually start up Node index.js, and you can see that it's actually listening now. So you look back at this code here, what's happening is it's going to listen on this port for any requests that are going to come in. So for instance here, how you look at this is that if you were to make a request to, it's listening on port 3000. If we were to go to port 3000, it's going to return back hello world. So if I do this, I do localhost 3000, you'll see that hello world comes back. So that's where this is happening right here. Now, if you make changes, one additional thing is that you can actually have something that listens to changes. A really quick way of doing that, because if I go in and let's say I have another tab. I have my Node app running, and I want it to reflect changes as soon as I make changes. Because I'm an impatient developer. So if we were in here and I did vim index.js, and say I did okay, well now I want let's go over to the hello world. Let's say change in the single quotes and say like hello Steve, and then you can save that. Let's write that. Now if you look back at here, if we do this again, it's still hello world, so it hasn't updated. So what you actually can do is over here on this, what you could do is you can actually get this, there's like a node monitoring tool that every time there's changes, it will update while it's running, so you don't have to stop the app like I did. You can actually just keep it running. So what that is nodemon. So let's install -g. We want to do this globally so we can run nodemon on any projects. You could do it just in this project, but it would just save from redundancy here. Let's do nodemon. Okay, and this is node monitor. Take a quick second and get this stuff. Okay, so if you do nodemon, and then now I do index.js, so it's just node or nodemon. But now if I do the monitor, you can see that we're listening on this port. Now, I want to prove to you that this is working. So right here we have hello Steve. Okay, we knew that was going to happen. But now if I go back and let's go ahead and let's change something here. Let's change in word and then hello hello again Steve, and then just something drastically different. If I write this right here, now I go back to the first window here, you could see this, see how it actually recompiled everything and basically did it, took the changes and it was restarting due to changes, it even tells you, and then now it launched port 3000 again. So what would you expect? So let's go back here, and you would expect if I were to refresh this, it's going to say hello again Steve. Hello again Steve. What do you know? So that's the point I wanted to make. This is a very simple Node app. Things you can leverage, these different tools. Express makes things very quick. You can see that we look at this file, very few lines of code, 5 lines of code right here. I think a node server, if you do it in raw Node without Express, you probably write it, not too many, I think maybe 10 lines to get going. It's something more drastic to like listen to some of these endpoints. It might be something, I'd say like 10, 20 lines at most, depending on how you code. So still something, and something a little bit longer, but why not use these very popular, very well proven frameworks, very established, I guess, I don't want to say patterns of design, but this technology stack that just works well together. Why not use these things as long as you know how to use them well? Just makes you type a little bit less and you're able to be a little bit more productive. So that's all I wanted to cover today. Next time, I'd like to make some more tutorials on maybe building out some of these Node endpoints here. To kind of show the power of Node, it can, parse bodies, bodies that you post into to the server. So if you had like a form, you could put information, post that to this node, the node server side here, and then you can communicate with the database, do some saving of that data, and then get that data back. So that'd be a little bit more in depth and of a live coding example. But first, to just get started with the basics. So I just wanted to leverage Express and NodeMon here, just get you going with nodes. It's really not that bad. Just wanted to show you and enable you to get going on your development journey. So next time we'll talk to you.